First message is that to the ambassadors that shut up, sit in the embassy, cut your public activity.
I don't really hope that Trump gonna remember to call Ivanishvili. I hope that West gonna remember how to be a tough with Georgian dream.
I don't know how much Bidzina owes him or what Bidzina owes him, but he owes him.
This is just maybe recognition of its own mistakes on a Freud level, you know.
Rukhadze, how he was standing there as a obedient child, you know, servant boy.
As a poor relative, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Guys, keep fighting. Don't surrender now. You are doing amazing job. I mean, Deep State is horrified and Global War Party is hiding from you, so.
Hello and welcome to Talk Georgia Question Time. With me, Giorgi Rukhadze.
And with me, Nodar Kharshiladze.
This is a special edition of Talk Georgia where Nodar and I dive into the key questions of the Georgian and international politics.
It is brought to you by Droeba Media Group, trusted source of information and analysis.
And GSAC, a think tank providing comprehensive political analysis of Georgia and wider Black Sea region, also academic and practical training for postgraduate students and mid-career professionals.
So, question time?
Let's get down to questions. Okay, as we decided,
we're gonna have one big question.
One big question, top question of the week, which came from John, and I'm gonna read it out. Ivanishvili snubs the US ambassador, meets an Arab sheikh, brands Western diplomats as deep state and hauls them into the MFA, and yet sends awkward letters to patch things up with Washington. So, any logic here? And what's he really after?
Well, thank you, John. It's a good question.
John seems to be following the news here in Georgia.
Actually, there are a number of journalists. Yesterday I talked with one who are following that very well, the foreign journalists actually.
Okay.
So John can be one of them. So I think let's start with disclaimer, okay? Let's agree on things. That Georgian dream and logic does not go well along. So short answer is no. Okay, no, because there is nothing logical if you take last 18 months of Georgian dream, either in their strategy or in their tactical implementation of those strategic decisions. We can't find any logic there. Now, why they do that? Because I think it's pretty obvious that on the one hand, they have this paranoia fueled by Mr. Shatirishvili's madness, which he just made this some strange statement that, you know, they are deep state, but we need to deal with them anyway. So, yeah, so that actually sums it up, which includes calling everybody a deep state, aggressively moving towards the confrontational rhetorics and actions, not only rhetorics. I mean, rhetorics ended 2 weeks ago when they started summoning ambassadors. Now these are the actions. So on the one hand, you have that, and this is fueling by Bidzina Ivanishvili's again fears and some conspiracy theories. So there are lots of things. I mean, we talked about it a number of times in our program. So check our last 2 episodes. There is lots of about it. And on the other hand, however, there is still somewhere behind the back of the mind understanding that, you know, you should not be fighting with this. I mean, you should try to settle down. And Bidzina he's very talented in some things, but he's very clumsy in that. Tries to play old Soviet trick. When you create a problem yourself and then show everybody that you can solve it and invite others and they applaud you. So he created this tension with diplomats and now tells them that, okay, now let's settle down. And he is a very poor student. That in Soviet Union was done in a way more delicate and diplomatic level, and people who were doing it were way more educated and schooled in such things as Mr. Ivanishvili. So you have this this madness, and second, somewhere still logical understanding, but you should not doing it. It's like smoker understanding that he or they should not smoke, but keep smoking. So on the one hand, and plus Georgian dream is not unilateral, I mean, in everything. We see they are arresting each other. They're definitely not today. There are some maybe sober voices left. There are not many. who are also advising him to, maybe speak. Plus, I think several ambassadors. One of them was, I think, the French ambassador, new one, who met with head of the parliament and told him very, very openly that, if you keep calling us names and keep summoning us, we won't be able to work with you at all. So if you want to talk, then behave yourself. And I think that was the part of the deal that we might. But will they manage it? No. Because train has left the station and it's accelerating. And even if they hit brakes now, it will take some time to regain. It's not about regaining the trust, that's nonsense from Georgian, but at least to regain the status of the sane person. I mean, that would take years that foreigners would say that, okay. So I think that is way too late now to say that, actually, what, we needed to speak with these ambassadors here and we need to somehow talk with them. Yeah, really, you should be thinking about it for the last 1.5 years while you frame them as enemies of the agents of the deep states and enemies of the Georgian nation, and summoning them in a very demonstrative manner, which was, I believe, German and British ambassador also.
EU and Dutch ambassador as well.
So they burned lots of bridges with that people. So I think that once more shows how divorced with the reality they are in the essence. So they think that they can do that and still try to fix the relationship, which of course will not work. 1 year ago that might be possible. Now it's too late. So I would not put my hopes up saying that in Georgian dream cooler heads are prevailing. They are definitely not. This meeting with the president of the United Arab Emirates, I think that we saw Bidzina bowing so low that he could not then walk firmly for some time, and it's about money for him. I mean, he sees their opportunity for financial partnerships and everything. It's all about his personal money. In the end, it boils down to that. And this arrest is also about money. This fight with Americans all started with this Credit Suisse and his money. It's money, money, money. This man cannot understand that money, if money is a strategic goal, you are thinking poorly. Money is important, but tool in politics, not goal itself. But I don't think that Bidzina ever has graduated to that understanding. I mean, he keeps putting himself in a position of the post-Soviet businessman, and he is a post-Soviet oligarch. So that was that. Now, Kavelashvili visit to Washington, I think
that's a letter, another letter that was sent to Washington.
This was a talking letter. In Harry Potter you have letters which talk and which fight with sometimes a mother sending angry letters to kids in Hogwarts. So that was some kind of letter from not Hogwarts but to UN and to Americans, but which was a poor talking letter that first of all he doesn't speak English.
Yeah, so it's like Emperor Caligula sending his horse to UN.
Ancitatus.
By the way, I think Ancitatus was a fine animal. I mean, if you look at the statue of Ancitatus.
Please choose your words. He was a senator. It was a senator, not an animal.
I mean, it never happened. So that was prank. That
prank,
Caligula played,
he nominated,
actually, yeah. So, but I mean, the funny thing there is that again, when we're talking about Caligula's horse, Incitatus, again, he had a marble 4-bedroom stables.
He did.
18 people were serving him.
Yes.
I think Kavelashvili can ask Bidzina, because in president's administration, I don't think that 18 people work.
No. He has way less than Horsehead, so he can ask for additional things. But now, Now, why he was a poor messenger? Because first of all, he doesn't speak English, and translators already. In this age, when you are head of states on the European continent, at least in Eurasian political sphere, it's expected that unless you come from one of the stans or things like that, with all the respect to that people and to their culture and everything, their English is still they have some excellent English speakers, but the political elite does not still command the language well. But when you come from Georgia, a country which has been with West like for the last 30 years actively negotiating and working and begging and demanding and making them, I mean, I think he is the first ever Georgian president who doesn't speak English. Zviad spoke English quite well, actually. And Shevardnadze was a difference.
I'll tell you what. So I mean, it's not just English, but any language apart from Georgian.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure about Georgian as well. So
oh yeah, okay.
He can put some phrases together.
Yeah, Shevardnadze spoke Russian.
Yeah, but Shevardnadze was a Soviet Minister of Foreign Affairs. I mean,
but still, it's not Georgian. I mean,
yeah, he spoke very well Russian, and plus, nobody would demand from Shevardnadze to be without. I mean, Shevardnadze had it's about Jupiter and Bull situation, you know, and Shevardnadze definitely was a Jupiter. So, in this regard, Kavalashvili, that's first. Second, it's not about only language, you know. Before you become a president, if you are a foreign minister or an ambassador to UN or minister of economy, you already have some networks in the West and in the other, maybe in Asia as well. You interact with your colleagues. So there is some cycle of people who recognize you as one of them. Okay, I mean, it's very clear. It doesn't matter. Is this Vietnamese trade minister or Slovenian defense minister or German foreign minister? You meet them with forums on the UN. I mean, it's like us think tanks we do with our colleagues.
Yeah, don't underestimate Kavalashvili because I mean he played 3 years in the Premier League and 5 years in Switzerland League. So I mean he could pick up at least some English. 3 years, and maybe French or
I don't want to
German,
insult him because he's
anyway,
not a bad guy. Actually, I know him personally, and he's really a just fine person. But
he was not meeting. I mean, the
as a
trade
person.
minister from.
But let me give you an example when you are asking the languages. Okay, he is one of the rare exemptions from Dinamo Tbilisi player who doesn't have a diploma. Dinamo Tbilisi players were all
lawyers.
They were officially all enrolled in Tbilisi State University, and they needed to go once a year to get their, in 4 years, once a year for some basic procedures. So I don't know how he managed to do not get that diploma, because everybody else has it. So while he managed that, why you are surprised that he did not pick up any languages? The guy, he's very good maybe with flute or maybe drawing, but he's not good with languages, okay? Leave him alone.
Maybe he was concentrating on the ball.
He was not very successful footballer. Teams he played were not primary.
Let's start
trashing him. Okay, he has enough problems. So he went there, and first of all, this Trump thing was very funny. That I'm gonna call you. I think it's like meeting some.
Oh well, that's funny one.
Yeah, meeting some guys, and after one night stand, he promises to call. Yeah, sure. Wait for that, and then the second.
Yeah. Apparently, Trump said, "Okay, I'll be back with you."
Trump. Yeah, let's not forget that Trump's biggest achievement in foreign policy was about his be back in memory was to settle. He couldn't settle Ukraine and Russia, so he settled Azerbaijan and Armenia to some extent. And he recently spoke that he made a speech between Azerbaijan and Albania. So I don't think that Kavalashvili should have very high hopes about that. And secondary was this Miss Maka Bochorishvili, which is I think it's counterproductive when she puts her meetings with Trade Minister of Namibia. With all due respect to Namibians and Her Excellency Trade Minister, I think they are excellent people and they're interesting partners possibly, but that's not priority on that, is it? You are going to the UN meeting while fighting deep state and looking for allies,
but I think it was in line. So she put up a picture with Belarusian foreign minister,
who is sanctioned,
and also Hungarian foreign minister.
Yeah, Hungary remains their partner, which is not surprising under the Mr. Orban's.
So it's not just Namibia. So
yeah, Belarusian guy was also very helpful. Yes,
indeed.
And once you do that, and then you try to say that, okay, let's be friends now. I don't think that's gonna work. So I think that now they finally understand that chickens came back to roost, and it's it's a time when the results of this 1 year of the crazy policy, I think, are manifesting in a levels which may not be seen for public now, but it's seen for him. He sent several businessmen to America, not very successful. They could not meet everybody, other than second-grade think tanks, and trying to convince them that do not sanction me. I'm major.
I've heard the same story in London, UK. So I even know those guys who were.
Yeah, I know.
There,
yeah, because I have 1/3 of Georgian economy, and if I get sanctioned, it will collapse, and things like that. So I think those things. I mean, the basic answer was that you should have think earlier about this kind of things. Yeah. So to finish my monologue, here is that this is just maybe recognition of its own mistakes on a Freud level, not on a level of sanity. They say we have to do that, and then say they summon ambassador again. So I don't think that what they are saying goes along what they are doing for a very long time. Well, at least they were persistent in their fight against the deep state. So, guys, keep fighting. Don't surrender now. You are doing amazing job. I mean, deep state is horrified, and the global war party is hiding from you. So, don't do that now. Don't tell that you're ready to talk. It looks like that you are asking for armistice, and you should not do that. I'm sure you are glorious. I mean, entire humankind, European Union, rich countries, United States, Canada, Australia, nobody could stand up to deep states. They conquered it, but you guys, you managed to do it. So I'm very proud of you. Keep doing that.
Okay. Yeah. Are you done with your rant, Nodar?
I'm not ranting, I'm just saying the facts.
Okay, so let me answer John's question, because I would like to break down it to few smaller questions. Because
17 smaller questions.
Yes. First is like Ivanishvili snubs U.S. ambassador and meets an Arab sheikh. I think that there is no direct link.
Absolutely not. They are actually allies, Arabs and the Americans. So.
But what I'll do, again. Ivanishvili met with UAE president, I think, for 3 reasons. First, he is an incredibly rich man. And Ivanishvili respects people who are richer than him.
Way beyond Bidzina, way.
Again, one of the reasons why he doesn't respect Trump is because he is below Bidzina on the Bloomberg billionaires list.
Officially.
Okay? Officially, yes. And Bidzina thinks that Trump is not smart enough because he could have way more money, basically, right? So again, one thing is that, again, whoever is richer than Bidzina would happily meet them because the money is measurement for him. So the more money you have, smarter you are. Smart, okay. Second thing is, as you mentioned, money. Okay, it's not just somebody being rich, but okay, you can get something out of that, and yes, it's about money, obviously. And you rightly mentioned that his facial expression when he was meeting the president of the UAE, so it's like obedient, humble, Bidzina suddenly became humble. And third, I think Bidzina owes him at least 9,000 or 9,000 bitcoins, maybe. Because, it's all about Bachiashvili's case.
900 bitcoins.
No, 9,000. It's about $1 billion US, so it's 9,000. So again, one of the reasons why Bachiashvili is in Georgia in prison, because thanks to that man. Okay, because he was smuggled from the UAE into Georgia and then into prison.
True.
So I don't know how much Bidzina owes him or what Bidzina owes him, but he owes him. So, and then it was clear. But another funny thing was that Bidzina invited him to his house, which
he does not do anymore.
Yeah, doesn't do anymore. And you should have seen the Prime Minister, Minister of Economy, Rukhadze, how he was standing there as a obedient child, servant boy.
As a poor relative,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think that the meeting Arab sheikh is about money and respect. Not meeting U.S. ambassador is about the message, I think. So the message that the previous ambassador was supposed to deliver, Bidzina didn't want to hear it. So, and this is one of the reasons why didn't he meet her? So, because if Bidzina is happy about the message that needs to be delivered, I'm sure he would be happy to meet anyone, the German ambassador or British ambassador, if the message is pleasing to him. If it's the other way around, yeah, he would not obviously meet anyone. Attacks on the ambassadors, and it's not just verbal attacks any longer. That was there, and it's not just verbal attacks, but it was insult. Now, they were summoned to the MFA, which is like the next stage of the confrontation. And when you say that, it didn't reach the confrontation stage, I think it did. Of course, it can go even further if they kind of try to kick them out, which Bidzina's philosopher basically advised against now. Because at the beginning, if you remember, Zaza Shatirishvili's letter, it was a few months ago, he was advocating to kick some of the diplomats out because there were too many of them. And the too many
to reduce number of personnel in embassies.
Absolutely.
Here.
So that man, he said that, this is the deep state kind of local offices here in Georgia. So and what we need to do, reduce the number of diplomats, okay, because they are agents, right? Now, with his text that was published a few days ago, what he's advocating is that he's kind of repeating his claim that, and the Western ambassadors are deep state agents. They are controlled by the deep state, obviously, and their offices are the local offices of the deep state. But important thing is that the deep state is not going anywhere. If we kick out these ambassadors, the new ambassadors, maybe worse ones, will come back. So when we don't, I think we need to, deal with them somehow, not to spoil our relations with those countries. Because the people-to-people level, it is important, Georgia, to have good relations with the embassies, not embassies, but with those countries in the West, even though they are now, the hostile countries to Georgia.
So proletarians of all world unite. Okay, got it.
The next thing is that I think that we need to think why Georgian Dream is doing that. I mean, it's a fact that they are doing that. Now they are, in the phase of reconciliation with, confrontation phase has been...
Oh, it's continuous.
It's continuous, but I think that, the call from Bidzina's philosopher is to, guys, slow down, and now let's reconcile with them, because anyway, they are deep state, okay? But I think the important thing is the response from the Western countries that I did not see. And I think that it will come, because it can't really continue that way. And one of the reasons why I think Shatirishvili is advocating for just slowing down and reconciling with the fact is that, they see that response could be coming.
3 days ago, they made a statement. 27 ambassadors, 29 now.
That's right, 29 ambassadors. There were a statement from German MFA. I didn't hear anything from Home Office from London, but I think it is in the pipeline. I think that the important thing is to deep dive why Georgian Dream is doing that and what they want to get out of this.
Yeah, what's your version?
Okay, first thing is this, I'll be as blunt as possible. The first message is that to the ambassadors, that shut up, sit in the embassy, cut your public activity.
Oh, that's a very stupid thing to do.
This is the message that is coming from the Georgian Dream.
So is it productive message? I mean, is it achieving anything, this message?
We'll see how it goes. Because if you listen to Rukhadze, he said that, there are ambassadors who are inside radicalism, and there are ambassadors who are all right.
Yeah.
So as long as you are quiet, as long as you are confined within your embassy, as long as you cut public activities, we are okay with that. So I think this is the first message, and the purpose of it is just to stop public activity from the ambassadors, because it displays support to Georgian democracy. It makes clear that Georgian Dream is not pro-European force. Georgia is not going into the direction, and it collides with the message that coming from the Georgian dream, and still we are defending Georgian values, we are fighting deep state, but at the same time we are still pro-European. On the other hand, the second thing that the purpose of this attack on the ambassadors is that to show Georgian dream supporters that look how strong we are, look how we treat them, and they can't do anything. Maybe there will be a statement from MFA somewhere, maybe there will be some, I don't know, like joint statement from 29 country embassies, but that's it. But see how we treat them? So, yes. And the third thing, I think it's message to the Kremlin. It is like Georgian dream Kremlin conversation telling them that, well, your assignment is being done. Mm-hmm. We are trying to do whatever you are asking us to do. So I think that when the Western countries will start thinking about the response, and I'm sure they are thinking about it, to do more than just statements at the embassy level or MFA level, I think they have to realize that it should be very strong and very public. Because the purpose of these attacks is to influence public opinion. So it should be kind of, I would say, the mirror response. Yeah. It's kind of, just to cut it short, from the Georgian dream side, it's a slap in the face. Kind of.
I will add one thing that...
And and the response should be a blow in the jaw.
They should understand, foreigners, that they are not doing with traditional political force. They are doing with thugs. They are doing with bratva here. They are doing with kodla here. Which are these guys? I mean, these are the terminology for the kind of the criminal structures. And once they spit on you, you should not just use your napkin and clean yourself. You should slap them back. Otherwise, they will continue to do that. So if they want... Now, you see the statement was made, still a clear statement 3 days ago. 27 it was first, then 29 countries joined the statement. And suddenly Shaturishvili comes out and says that, maybe we need to speak.
Okay, so, we need to back down a little bit.
Yeah. So if you have a strong wording, and please do, if you go, and I think we could prevent it if Georgian Dream did not think that they could get away with that. They thought that first matches will work, the German ambassadors will be frightened that they will send him away, of course it did not, and it was counterproductive for everybody, unfortunately from West as well. So I think one thing and this is a PR war between ideologies here. If we want to be successful on the Western side, sometimes it's okay to West to be strong. You don't always need to be compromising. Sometimes you have to be tough. And I think West knows how to be tough. Just that they just need to remember it. So, to summarize, I don't really hope that Trump gonna remember to call Ivanishvili. I hope that West gonna remember how to be tough with Georgian Dream.
Okay, and our solidarity to our ambassadors of our friendly countries, obviously, because it is unthinkable what's going on in this country. And the Georgian MFA hit the rock bottom. This is what I can say.
Yeah, I'm sorry for my MFA, and I'm sorry that I'm paying taxes to do that. I mean, because it's our taxpayers' money what they're spending on these things. Yeah, we are sorry. Please do not forget again that they do not represent most of the Georgian people. They're just there because they're corrupt Russian mafia group. Other than that, under normal government, it will be all fixed very quickly, I believe.
Thanks, Nodar, and thanks for watching us, listening to us. Please subscribe to our new YouTube channel, and we'll see you next week.